What's going on, everybody? Chris Classic Car Vlog. Hope you guys and gals are having a wonderful day. You get a two-for today, a two-for-one special. Hope everything is well with you guys. Nobody tells you when God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. I just got off of work. I'm on the way home to chillax and, get ready for this break. Make sure you subscribe to the Taking Home podcast where I talk about professional wrestling topics and I put up my matches as Classic Yall for a professional wrestler for 13 years. Make sure you also subscribe to C3 Ultimate Wrestling. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We have all our matches from this year and previous years as well. So make sure you look at the playlist of all the shows, all the stories, all the action, all the great wrestlers. Make sure you also get tickets for Big Business, BIG Business, February 21st. 2026 first show of the year. It's going to be in Dyer, Indiana. Harold's private venue. Tickets are on sale now on Eventbrite. They are $5 off, but they'll be $5 more at the door bars. I told y'all it's too many belts. I told y'all it's too many belts. Lafayette in the building. Rinse Syndicate. Lafayette, what up? Robert Brown in the building. What's going on, brother? Hope everything's fine and well with you. Too many belts. What up, Arshawn? It's too many in wrestling. There's too many belts in both companies, the major companies. Too many belts. Going off of the new national TV championship, whatever AEW is calling that belt. I do think that belt is only made to be petty. I think they're being petty towards NWA. I don't know what a fallout or what they had between NWA, but NWA has a belt that looks just like that. It's called the National Championship, and now AEW has another belt, and I honestly think it's not nothing for prestige or nothing like that. It's just because Tony can do it. Now, I don't know if it's anything about names or copyright, IPs and stuff like that, but honestly, this is a petty championship, and the first champion of the belt is King Petty himself, Ricochet, who's very petty and childish on X, formerly known as Twitter, because of how he does kind of shield for AEW and he says a lot of crazy stuff. So yeah, Tony made a petty title for a petty wrestler. That sounds like the most Tony Khan-ish thing ever. Too many belts. Thank you. It's too many belts. I told y'all it's too many belts. Too many belts. Yes, there can be a such thing as too many belts, because I don't even know the purpose of belts. Belts used to mean something. And I ain't talking about the ones that hold your pants up. Belts used to mean something. Stuff used to be so simple in the day, man. It's different now, and they just make belts. And then not only do they make belts, they make belts for tournaments and stuff. And then, you don't even have to defend that belt until like next year or whatever like that. And then you probably got to do a tournament to get that belt back. It's too many belts, y'all. I keep telling y'all, man, it's too many belts. This is on the cusp of having a national gauntlet match for that title, and then the Continental Classic that's coming up, and then they're about to crown women's AEW women's champions. It's too many belts, y'all. Y'all know it's too many belts. What do the belts mean? I'm a champion at a company with a lot of belts, and it's not even just AEW. It's WWE as well, because it's a brand split. But even then, if you are a women's tag champion, you can go between shows, because I guess that gives them something to do. I'm trying to get the inaugural big blocker for the big block chat. Don't be surprised WWE. I wouldn't be. And remember, they had the Cruiserweight title. They brought it back for the 205 Live. They had that for a little bit. That purple title, I ain't gonna lie, that title was dope. But then they unified it with something. I forgot which belt they unified it with, but they unified it. Because remember, the 205 Live, they were doing cruiserweight stuff. So if you had 205 pounds, you could be in a tournament. I think they had like two of them, the Cruiserweight Classic or whatever, and then they turned it into 205 Live, and it was just like trying to show out for the cruiserweights and stuff. But then they winded up unifying it with something else. Like I remember NXT UK. They had NXT UK, and they was doing their own thing in the UK, and then they winded up unifying their belts with the NXT belts. So it was just like, that's just one thing. When I say something about WWE having too many belts, eventually they unify these belts, and then not only do they unify them, they add all the prestige of that belt from previous reigns and stuff into the unified belt. It's kind of cheating. It's low-key padding stats as well. That's why I remember last year people was debating about, oh, well, Cody is a two-time champion before he beat John Cena at SummerSlam, because they were saying that the Undisputed title is a mix between the, the Universal and the WWE title. Like, it's a mix between both, so that makes him two-time champion. And I'm like, no, it don't. It don't. I know WWE wants to use that logic, but it does not make them a two-time champion. You made two belts into one. That doesn't say, oh, well, he's the current heavyweight and current world Universal champion, Universal Studio champion. I don't care what they call it. They unify so many stuff. AEW, they unified, then they lie. They unilie. They say that when the Continental belt was supposed to be a unification of the New Japan title and the ROH title, like the first one, the one that Eddie Kingston won when he was taking pictures with 3 belts and stuff, it was supposed to be unified, but it was never unified, and he wound up like losing all 3 belts to 3 different people. Come on, man, what we doing with all these belts? Unified and uniline, that's what we doing. This is what we doing. Appreciate y'all. Don't spam the chat. Yeah, please don't spam the chat. Wrench Syndicate is already in it. They already in it. Don't spam the chat. If I do not respond to your questions or your statements, please be patient. If you're saying some crazy stuff about my color, what I wear on my head, about Candice LeRae, you will be spammed, okay? You'll be spammed out of the chat, respectfully. But they definitely unify. And that's what I'm trying to understand. With belts definitely have to mean something. And I'm saying this because my company, the home company that I used to train for, them mugs had like 5-6 belts at one time. We had tag, we had trios, we had a TV champion, we had a YouTube champion, we had a heavyweight champion, we had like a secondary champion. It was just so many belts. It was a belt that you can cash in like a Money in the Bank. It was so many titles, and it was just like, oh my God, like everybody coming out with a belt. I remember they did like a award ceremony. I wasn't a part of it because I've been gone from the company. They had an award ceremony, and everybody had belts. Hey, oversaturation of belts, man. Oversaturations of belts. What's going on? Marvel has no mercy. I blocked 5. No, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for blocking 5 years because they're going to come back and they're going to say some crazy stuff. AEW, like if WWE buys AEW down the line, they're going to unify it. I think WWE has purchased TNA, to be honest with y'all, or on a cusp of buying it. And if that happens, they're going to unify TNA's title with WWE's title if they bought it. And honestly, whoever's the champion that's going to lose to them, they're probably not going to be in the title picture. That's just the thing that WWE does, is that they do these kind of things. But yeah, going into that, Ricochet's a new champion. And it was just like, okay, well, who's all the champions now? What is it? Okada, Ricochet, Samoa Joe. There's trios champions. There's tag champions, TBS, TNT, International House of Pancakes champion, ROH. Like, it's so many belts. Speaking of so many belts, let's talk about Mercedes Moné. I like how that transition from that. So, from what I saw, she did not capture the women's world title from AEW, so she still has the 13 belts. Now, what I see is looking like, okay, I like and don't like the vision of it, because I'll tell you why. Now they're saying, okay, she's winning all of these belts, but she basically cannot win the big belt. She cannot win the big one, even though she has all of these belts. So that kind of makes those titles kind of not matter, even though I don't want to say they don't matter because I don't want to disrespect the companies, but still, it's like, okay, cool. All of these belts don't matter because she cannot win the real one, the one that people are expecting her to win. So that it's kind of downplaying the titles that she does have. Now, I'm not that really upset about her having all of these belts or whatever like that. If I was a promoter, I'd be upset if I try to call and she ain't picking up because I want her to defend the belt. to be honest with you, I don't even think she's going to defend all of those belts. If she does, kudos to her. I don't think she's going to defend those. I think it's just my opinion. Not trying to be negative, put no bad stuff in the air, but still, that's a lot of belts to. But I mean, she won them. She went everywhere. She went around the world and won them. Still, like I said, the first time she loses a belt, it's not going to be as special as the 13th time she loses a belt because we are expecting her to lose. So you expect her to lose 13 times. And on top of that, well, 12 times, because I know one of them is the All Heart Championship that she's walking around with. So you're going to expect her to lose 12 times. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that she's going to lose. And she has lost belts before in like triple threats and fatal four ways and stuff like that. But still, I see what they're trying to do, but it kind of like dampers on the belts. Even, you know, it kind of dampers the belts. Like, oh, well, you got all these belts and you ain't the AEW World Champion. So obviously, what they're going to do is they're going to have her main event in the AEW pay-per-view, and it's going to be history because no woman has main event pay-per-view to my knowledge. So they're going to let her have her moment and give her flowers by having her win the belt at the end of a pay-per-view. Honestly, I think they're going to do that. Like I said, for the most part, the independents in the AEW, they have been trying to give her the credit and the flowers that she deserved, that she should have had in WWE, the WWE did not want to give her. Because she went, oh, no, she going to have to sign a contract to say that she going to come to every show. Ultimone. And some people glad she lost, and that's fine. Like I said, that's fine. I don't think it's something that's going to, like, mess her up. I do think that, you know, they are trying to build something. Holding her belts is lowering. Yeah, it's crazy. But like I said, going even into that, which is weird because what I didn't know was even how, you know, I don't like that she calls herself Ultimone or Ultimo Monet, but it was, people were talking about like, I saw Pro Wrestling Biz, and he was kind of like enlightening people on how Ultimo won those, what was it, 8 titles? It was off of a match from a tournament. So all the belts was all together. So he really won the belts off of one match. So can you imagine if Mercedes won all 12 belts off of one match? Then the people who do not like her, most, not all, most will be like, oh, well, she didn't travel around the world and win. She literally went around the world. So like I said, I get the vision. I get what they're trying to do. I get these other companies that are trying to benefit off of the stardom that she has. I know people don't like her. Hey, newsflash, she's a heel. You're not supposed to like her. And I do think that people kind of mess up the lines of it because social media has trained a lot of people to love the people you're supposed to hate and hate the people you're supposed to love. So now when you do have a heel that you hate, like, to be honest, a heel's not supposed to be out wrestling anybody. They're not supposed to be people that you like all the time. They're supposed to be annoying. I'm not sitting here saying you got to be a fan, an Uber fan and stuff like that. If you don't like her, you don't like her. But it's just like, to me sometimes, people is just like, oh, well, I just want to like the people who wrestle. I'm like, no, you're not supposed to. Not supposed to. I couldn't stand Triple H back in the day. And then when I became a wrestler and started understanding wrestling logic, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to like him. Doesn't matter about who he was, who his wife was, and who he was been in the business. I'm not supposed to like him, right? Monet needs 3 more belts. Holding her belts. She might get more belts. I know people was mad. People getting mad at her winning titles that they probably don't even know the name of. That's no disrespect to that companies, the companies that giving her a belt. But a lot of people like, she doesn't deserve to win these belts from a company I probably never going to go to, not even going to support, not even going to buy a ticket to. How dare she win a belt to a company I don't even care? See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about it. Like I said, it's just waiting for like a big moment. What I would do is I would have her lose all those belts. I mean, Tony can't make her lose those belts because she's only contracted through AEW with their titles and stuff. But if the storyline is eventually she loses it all, and then she's going to give her all, and let's say her last match will be for the women's title, and if she doesn't win it, she's going to retire. But if she wins it, she's going to be the champ. Sort of like what Bryan Danielson did, except actually make it mean something. Because to be honest, Bryan Danielson didn't need to beat Swerve, especially if he wasn't even going to have that belt for a long time. I'm going down that hill. I promise you I will. Bars. That little woman, she took the other Red Velvet, cute. Yeah, Red Velvet. she's okay. I'm talking about wrestling wise. I ain't talking about the looks. She's okay. I do know that like it was for the undisputed ROH title she has because Mina, she had the interim and Mercedes was the interim too or something like that, and she beat Mina, and then Red Velvet was injured, so she didn't defend the title until she got back. But as soon as she got back, she lost to Mercedes. Red Velvet is like, I want to say for the most part a mainstay in AEW. I do remember her in AEW Dark when they used to do Dark. She used to mess up a lot. She used to do some crazy stuff, overshoot moonsaults and stuff and all that, you know. For her to get a belt and stuff like that obviously means she's improved a little bit and stuff. She's been working on promos and all of that stuff. So, you know, I saw like the end of that match. The end of that match was nasty work. That long blower off the second rope, nasty. I can hear, you know, Brother Chris. Be listening, Mercedes, I need you to defend the title in 3 days. Mercedes will probably like, listen, Mr. Classic, you want me? I don't think she's like that. But I do know that a lot of people are saying they are spending a lot of money to bring her in. Like a lot of people are spending some money to bring her in. And people are upset with that. And I'm like, you'd be surprised how many of these wrestlers be charging people to do certain things. And people are going to be like, oh, well, she's only been in business. Yeah, she's been in the business for over 10 years. In WWE, she's been on the main stage for over 10 years. She's been wrestling way before that and stuff like that. And yeah, I think whatever price she is, it is what it is. I remember people made a big deal about when her and Naomi were taking pictures, and it was costing like $125. Now, me, I'm not spending that for no picture with nobody. Not me. However, they had a long line of people that was taking pictures with her. What made that part a little worse was that she was low-key like 6 feet away from them people. I was like, dang, that sucks. I wouldn't even want to. I'd be like, I get my money back at this point. I ain't saying we got to like touch or nothing like that. You got to do a hug or something, but dang, why am I so like far away? Like, did y'all see the space? Like, you could put a whole football team between them. Like, hey, she was kind of wilding for that. I understand people weird and stuff, but if people that weird for you to do that, don't even do the stuff. But hey, her last name is Money, so I guess that's what she want to do. I ain't doing that. Hey, I ain't doing no social distancing for no picture that I paid $125 for. That's me though. But you see Naomi was a lot closer to a lot of people and stuff, and people was happy. But I ain't doing that. That's what we need. WWE part-time championship. No, we don't need a part-time. We don't need no more belts. We need no more belts. We need no more belts. We need no more, man. No more belts. Low-key, having a lot of belts in one wrestling company is really indie-rific when you think about it. It's very indie-rific. Because like I said, even with the independent company I used to wrestle for, he had so many belts. He had a belt bag. That belt bag was so heavy because it had so many belts in it. And it was to the point it was like, hey, you can just take the belt home because it was so heavy. It was so many belts. Belts just scraping against each other and getting damaged and stuff, leather messing up. It's just too many belts. And it is an indie-rific thing because a lot of people want to have a lot of champions and stuff like that. C3, we got 4 sets. And I'm fine with that. I don't think we need another belt. Maybe we can do something else, things with stipulations, but it ain't got to be in no belt form. We got Best of the Midwest, and we used to do the Grand Chance opportunity. Wasn't no belt. And that's fine. You know, you get a show that's a little over 2 hours. 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, and you enjoy what you see with that. You get to see the best champions at C3, and that's it. We don't need all them belts. So many belts. So many freaking belts. Logan can be added to the triple threat. Hey, it must be the money. We also need a pay-per-view championship like Undertaker when he only came for the pay-per-view. Need a backstage. No, we don't. Which is funny because I remember they, Saudi Arabia did like the best in the world championship. And it was like Undertaker, like AJ won it. And then Undertaker came out and all he did was like a choke slam. Then that was it. I was like, dang, that sucks. We don't need no more championships. We don't need no more accolades. Let it go. Like I said, these is fire, by the way. Like I said, WWE is big now. It's crazy. So I do understand why they have multiple champions and stuff like that. But man, I usually just love when everybody just went for one title because we know which title is more important than the other one. These are Jay's Crunchers. I know Jay's is like a big Chicago thing in chip company and stuff. I don't know if it's from Chicago, but my stepmom is from Chicago. And when she used to we used to live in Texas, she'd go to Chicago and come back and have all of these chips called Jay's. And it was like Jay's hot stuff and all of that. She didn't bring these, but like ever since I seen these, I fell in love. These is like the best jalapeno kettle chips. I gotta see you some, man. These is good, man. I usually don't care for kettle chips because kettle chips usually be harder than Lil Wayne's albums, but still. Hold on, y'all. My son right here. My baby boy. Oh, hey, Dang, you ain't seen my car right here? Hey. You gotta know your surroundings, man. That's my baby boy. I love that boy. Anyway, but yeah, man, it's too many belts. What is it gonna take for y'all to realize that on TV alone is just too many belts? It's too much unifying and too much uniline. Unifying and uniline. No, we don't. If I was to ever make an Alpha Championship, I'd be wearing it and defending it at other companies. Sort of like how Zack Ryder does. What was it? The Internet Championship that he has. I actually like that concept, like as a wrestler. Like to me, if you want to be a champion, make yourself a champion. And then also defend the belt on other companies and stuff like that. And sometimes some people win it and sometimes people lose it. But still, what happened to that boy? And what happened to that boy championship? That's when you caught lacking. When you caught lacking, you get that belt. What happened to that boy? But no, still, if I was to ever do that, and I've thought about it, honestly, Arshawn, I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I get this belt made? And I want it to look like the best looking belt. Like I wanted to make it, I want it to look like a belt that everybody wants. That's my biggest thing about championships, right? Especially for C3. The C3 Ultimate Wrestling Championship, the one that Joseph R. Credit had. I like big championships, and I like the North American title back in the day. And I was like, you know what? Let me mold it. And then I found out how I could get it done in custom and stuff because it looked good. And a lot of people say, man, I can't wait to wear it. I can't wait to get this belt. Make it a belt that everybody wants. So with the Alpha Championship, I would definitely do that. Nate a nameless gold medallion. No, we don't. Please. We need no more championships. All right, Arshawn, I'm about to block you, bro. I'm about to block you so you can spend more time with Candice LeRae, watching her stuff online and all that. You know, I know her and DIY's the thing together. You know, you can get the Poison Pixie Championship exclusively at Crooklyn Drinking. No, we don't. We don't need no more. Hey, man, for real. I thought we was cool. I thought we was all cool. Why y'all doing this to me, yo? And it's bad enough that SmackDown is doing an old traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 with MFT and Sammy and all them people over there. That's crazy. I think that's mighty crazy of them to do. Like, hey, we're going to give y'all a traditional Survivor Series match on SmackDown, not on Survivor Series. Like, that's so crazy. Horrible. Horrible. We don't need no War Games Championship. We need to bring back Survivor Series. We need to bring back Survivor Series. Maybe have a Soul Survivor Championship. I don't know. Let me stop. But still. Tell you, man. We got companies with a lot of belts. We got wrestlers with a lot of belts. And more belts is coming. I don't think Tony's done making the belt. You would think he was done making belts and stuff. But I know he did an interview and he was saying, like, Oh man, I be thinking about a whole bunch of belts to make. And this national one, honestly, it's a petty championship. I think whatever fallout he had with NWA, I think he was like, you know what? Why don't I just make a belt that look exactly like y'all belt and have somebody actually win it on a pay-per-view? And I think that's what he did. Because I know some of the wrestlers from NWA, they've been sticking up for NWA. The national champion in NWA has spoken about it, saying, hey, nah, this is the real championship. This is the one that has the lineage in it. And if you all want to have a problem, to come see me. So they really, I think it is petty. It's real petty. I can't wait for Friday. I can't even remember Survivor Series. It's there. It's. I just know it's at the end of this month. I can't wait for Tony Khan gonna make a money matches. Only when he beat the shot. Fun fact: TK tried to sign Nick Aldis to TNA. Yeah, I remember. Aldis was in what was it? The first show, All In or All Out. He went against Cody, and Cody beat him for the NWA Championship. You know, Dusty had won that belt before. So when Cody won it, it was like a big emotional moment. And then they had a good match too, All In. And they had a good match too. And then I know that Nick like beat him in the rematch. It was like a week or so later. Like it wasn't even a long reign. It was just for us to like be happy that he won something that his dad used to carry around. So what up, FTF? So still, AEW definitely tried to sign. Tony definitely tried to sign like a lot of people, and some people went with it, and some people like, nah, I'm loyal to other companies, or nah, I don't like what's going on, and stuff like that. Because I remember like the All In sensation, like everybody was happy about All In and all of that stuff. I remember the tickets sold out so quick they started adding chairs and stuff. I remember I was doing the show. When it was doing All In and everybody was talking about it. Oh man, it's so awesome. Like that's something when you at a wrestling show and everybody was like, I'd rather be at All In dang near than the show that they was at, which is crazy. Oh, you from India? Shout out to you, man. Shout out to India. Much love, much love. But still, I remember that. But I know that Tony tried to sign Stephanie Vaquer. Velcro, whatever Naomi used to call her. He was trying to sign her because remember, she was on AEW first. You know, she lost to Mercedes Moné, and Moné won the belt that she had or whatever like that. And Tony, like Mercedes was trying to get Tony to sign her, and she said no, basically because WWE was basically interested in her, which is crazy because when she did sign with WWE, she was a champion at some lucha thing, and they was mad because it was like, oh well, we got to get a new champion because our champion just jumped ship and went somewhere else. Like they was upset with her. Vaquer, Stephanie Vaquer. Shout out to you, FTL. I thought I gave you a shout out. Stephanie Vaquer. But now look at her, you know, the Devil's Kiss and the Devil Tattoo and all of the other demonic stuff. Anyway, hey man, that's what if people like it. I don't love it, but still, she's very, very talented. I love her little spin backflip move that's off the top. I forgot what they call it. I think Kev was trying to say something similar about a Harold's private venue something. I know it was something about the gift cards and stuff now. The championship, they do have a company out here. They made a UAW Hall championship. That's like a steel workers union stuff. And I guess like they do so much business with them, they made a belt like as a tribute to the people of the building and stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. I really no Beast Championship. Definitely don't need one. As you guys know, obviously from me stopping, I'm home. So I'm about to go in. Hopefully I'm called back to now we're gonna get a Namekian championship. But I'm home. Thank you guys. I'm home now in Indiana. I am home. So about to see family for a little bit. I low-key want to watch the thing, the 80s version of it. I low-key want to watch it because of the effects and stuff. And people are saying that was like one of the best horror movies. So I definitely about to go home, probably work out a little bit, and then watch the thing with my family. The older set of the family, not the younger set. Yeah, throwback for sure. We need a what do you want me to talk about championship? I'm surprised Cody don't have one for his podcast or whatever he got. But still, yeah. I've looked at like certain things about the thing, and I'm actually curious about it. I want to see how my oldest son gonna react to the effects and stuff, because he's a big effect person, and he looks at stuff like that, and he be like, oh man, that was nice, that was dope and stuff like that. Because we was looking at RoboCop a couple of days ago, and like, you know, it was kind of clunky a little bit, but it was also kind of like, it was good. The effects and stuff was pretty good in that movie. But still, the taking home championship. Honestly, if I was to ever make a belt, it probably would be a taking home championship or something. And they defend the belt, and then we upload it on the Taking Home Podcast channel. That's not a bad idea, but we don't need no more belts. I'm surprised there's no TKO championship. It won't be long. It won't be long. But I'm out of here. Thank you guys. Thank you, Arshawn, Robert Brown, FTF. Shout out to y'all. Young Chase said check the music. I think I got everybody clear. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all and everything that y'all continue to do. John, Zach, a lot of people. Much love, much love. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful evening. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home. Shout out to you from India, Comedy All Time. Shout out to India Love.